Goal.
What's your goal?
You know, this thing, I got a circle.
What circle? Oh, on the Apple Watch?
Yeah, buddy. Come on, man. What other circles are there in life?
Dude,
other than Apple Watch?
I'm all stoked because I got my exercise ring in today. Yay.
Exercise ring?
Yeah, your mic's too far away.
Is it? Is this better?
Yes.
Nice.
Sweaty.
What exercise ring? What's that?
Really?
Yeah.
You have an Apple Watch, don't you?
No, man. I got rid of that damn thing. I got tired of the battery dying, and I'm not racking up my Virgin Pulse points and everything else.
Dude, that's what you get for buying it off of like Craigslist, stolen. You know, it's like,
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay full price for just about anything anymore, I think.
oh, that'll all change here soon.
Can you believe this is still the one you bought me for my first closing at Movement?
I looked at that one.
I like it.
It's a Fitbit, right?
The Blaze? Yeah.
I had the Surge,
Yeah.
and then I went back to look at those.
They're pretty
And-
legit.
and
I mean,
then I got sold on this. I don't really know why.
because you wanted to be cool.
Yeah.
It's an image thing.
Trying.
It needed to go with all your suits. A Fitbit kind of brings down the suit.
Unless it's a skinny suit.
Yeah, it'd have to be like
You're wearing skinny jeans
It'd have
now,
to
aren't you,
be like a
Justin?
Perry Ellis suit,
Uh-huh.
and then the Fitbit would work.
Who's Perry Ellis? I'm kidding.
That's my point.
yeah.
So since you guys are ordering them from Italy and stuff, you got to go with the Apple Watch. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Italy, courtesy of Round Rock Outlets.
Hey, you know, one time at the Round Rock Outlets, I saw Deion Sanders there.
Are you
Really?
sure?
Oh yeah, I'm positive. And he had a couple of bodyguards with him,
Nice.
Was he like?
and he was arguing at the Calvin Klein, like, you know, trying to finagle the price. He's like, "Man, I don't really need this. You don't need to sell this to me for $20. How about 15?"
Really?
I was like, "This is Deion." I called my brother. I was like, "Hey, I don't know who else to call. I gotta call somebody." I'd be like, "Guess who's here?" I can't say it out loud because
So-
you'll hear me, and his bodyguards are super huge.
So Dion was like
Neon Dion was like,
whipping out the coupons. and-
"Hey man, can you sell this to me for 15?" It was a belt. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, I'm
Nice.
sure you could not be at the outlet malls, let alone
No.
haggling.
Well, you know,
No
was this
comment.
after he retired?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot changes.
That makes sense.
A lot changes. So what's going on, fellas?
Oh, another day.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell me about it. This
Yeah.
is just really starting off with a bang. This is great. Thanks for all the workable
Enthusiasm.
material. Yeah, dude, I'm loving it.
Well, you bring us in here after, we've restructured 74 loans, and social media is ready to go for another 10 days. And what else?
Are you still using Hootsuite?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't they change something on
Oh,
Hootsuite?
Yeah, they, the Facebook policy stuff, of course, now the way third parties can post and things like that are changing, but, so far nothing like too detrimental, but you just have to reconnect them every so often and things like that, but yeah, it's not
So
bad.
it's that easy?
It's still good. Yeah.
I haven't been on it in a while because I've just been kind of doing it manual, which kind of stinks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Doing it the old hard way.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty easy. But the last time I was on it, that's why I was asking. So like all of a sudden it was like, yeah, well, no, we can't post to Facebook.
Oh, you know what? Actually, now that you said that, you cannot post now to your personal page.
Only to
It
your
has
business
to be a
pages?
business page. Yeah, that's what it is.
With what is this with
Hootsuite, it's
Hootsuite.
It's a social media
pulls all
management
three everything together?
dashboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can like
Pulls
integrate
more
all
than
kinds of
3,
stuff.
bro. Like there was a time. Well, and I'm sure it's still awesome. But I mean, it was like the Gram, Twitter, freaking
WordPress,
YouTube.
YouTube. It's the Pinterest, the works.
It was legit. It probably still is legit. It's just I'm not using it as frequently as I was at one point.
What's really good is if if you're kind of like a social media junkie, you can hook up like Google Drive and have access to all your photos right there. You can hook up MailChimp if you use MailChimp.
Right.
They've added all these integrations with, other Salesforce. I mean, there's all kinds of different pieces that plug in, so
Will it
it
hook
can
up?
be a pretty powerful
Will it
tool.
hook up with MySpace?
Dude.
You know what?
Dude.
I heard that thing's really starting to take off again.
Oh, it's yeah.
No joke. I logged in to my old MySpace. They're all still there.
For real?
It's probably about 6 months ago, maybe. But somebody started texting me photos, and I'm like, those are my MySpace photos. And sure enough, like they found, you can search. Oh, it's hilarious. They're still there.
Wow.
Yeah, no music and stuff, and it obviously looks a little different, but yeah, photos, everything's still there.
I had that for like 2 months. And then it was like, somebody was like, "Oh no, man, you got to get on Facebook. MySpace is dying."
That's when Facebook was like really boring.
Yeah. Which is real basic, but it was kind of easy on the same note. Whereas, like, I think at the MySpace, it got to the point where you were creating, like, all this craziness on your page, right?
Yeah, I remember the music. You could have a playlist so that it would automatically start playing when people visited your page.
See, and I wonder, why do you think, why did it die? Well, I don't even know that I would call it dead, but, how did Facebook come in and take that over, though? In other words, like, how did they dominate?
It's a good question when you consider the appearance, like the way the platform was built, because Facebook was like black and white compared to full HD, 4K with MySpace at the time. It's a good question. I don't know. It's weird.
It would be cool if it kind of made that comeback, though.
Yeah, it'd be pretty legit.
I would be like,
didn't it kind of appear though Facebook was like for a more older audience and like a more maturity aspect? Because the first integration is like, who did you go to school with and who did you go to college with? And so, and then MySpace ended up being kind of like
kids,
child's play, So they had appealed, I think, to an older crowd.
Well, because Facebook obviously was designed for college students to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right in the sense that MySpace was a lot of kids. Yeah. So Facebook being college and higher was like, oh no. Like, because I want to put glitter. Remember the glitter GIFs and all this, and oh man, but like, yeah, we were like really.
That was on MySpace.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get that far into it. Oh, I looked at a few pages, and I remember, and it was just like, I'm not doing all this. Like,
yeah, didn't you have to have like some college email address or something?
Oh yeah.
There were some barriers to entry, I think, at first.
That's right, because I enrolled at El Paso Community College so that I could set up my Facebook account, I think.
Really?
No, that's a complete lie, but that would have been cool.
You never went to college. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I have like a year and a half.
Yeah, semester.
Yeah, and I went to class.
He wasn't enrolled, but he went there.
He went there. He showed up.
I sat in some classes.
Right. I was there for the parties.
Okay, yeah. I had some professors that were friends. I just sat there.
Nice. So, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Market leader, El Paso. Michael Nasserfar, co-market leader, Austin, Texas.
See.
What are your thoughts on the status of the market? Well, no, I shouldn't even say the status of the market, but the main reason I wanted to do this one with you guys is because, obviously, Jesse, I've known you for a while. I know how into the social sphere you are as far as social media and advertising on it and teaching classes on it. And then I hear Mike talk, and he's kind of running also parallel, but in a different way.
Sure.
Some similarities, but some different. So I wanted to get you both on this time. Kind of talk about and let's hash out how does somebody effectively, in your opinion, build a social media presence in this day and age with so much freaking white noise out there? Because everybody's competing for the same right? Especially in the mortgage sphere. You know what I mean? It seems like a lot of people are competing for the same likes.
Sure.
So how do you differentiate? How do you blaze a trail?
I think,
in your opinion,
I think it's like anything else, right? You have any loan officer out there, you know what you need to do to be successful and make a lot of money. Is that make 500 calls a week? Well, you know what I mean. You know if you're doing the work or not.
Sure.
So it's kind of like, okay, well, I can sit here and pound out 500 calls a week. I can do core. I can do all these. But is that realistic? Are you really going to do it? Well, a very small percentage will, and they're going to kill it. And I think that also applies to social media. If you're, if that's what you're trying to master, that's where your voice is, or that's where your targeting is, you're going to jump in and you'll find the tools to help, streamline those efforts and things like that. But, it's, look, it's like all the tools right now that we're rolling out at Movement. These tools are mind blowing. And when they all work together, it's a powerhouse behind you, but you have to do it. And so, yes, while people are competing, it's not so much that you're going to have somebody just do it a whole lot better than you. They're just going to be doing it a whole lot more consistent than you. And that's the key to any social media is consistency, and decent content. Decent content's not hard to make or create or find or anything else.
Yeah.
You just got to do it, So, again, I think it's just staying consistent and finding tools. That's why I use Hootsuite. I had to find it. If I had to log into, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter every single day and try to curate content, it's a full-time job.
Yeah, but you still gotta create the content, though.
Well, what's good now is, Movement's done such an amazing job at creating it for us.
Yeah.
Now for me, they've kind of turned it more into plug and play. So now I can focus on, taking pictures of, my son,
your lunch,
my son destroying our living room or something like that, and
or the furniture you're building.
That's right, or that.
I think there's a huge value in that, though, Jesse.
There's massive.
There is, and if Jesse's a pro at this, I'm a complete amateur, but I feel like I'm understanding the landscape of social media and Facebook a lot better. As I see people who are quote unquote dominating in that space, whether it's in mortgages or home sales or auto sales or whatever, just they're killing life in general. I look at the stuff that they're doing and, understanding what the majority of people in the psychology, they're going to Facebook from a escape, a temporary, distraction, a self-induced distraction, sometimes an uncontrollable distraction, but that being that they're going there to see something personal in someone else's life or business or whatever. And if you keep approaching them with my rates, my fees, my service, my closings, my rates, my fees, my service, my closings.
People now you're the white noise.
Stay friends,
Correct.
Unfollow. You know what I mean? Because I want to escape from something. So, Jesse, you talked about it before, 80% this, 20% that, or 80%, my kid demolishing my bedroom, my funny thing I saw at HEB, whatever the case, the El Arroyo sign, whatever it is.
Dude,
stuff that, right?
El Arroyo can
you're
keep
obsessed.
you busy for weeks.
You're obsessed with, Nikki, to my wife's obsessed with those signs.
But that's what gets likes in a non-competitive manner, right?
Sure.
If I'm competing with my fellow loan officer and who can, I posted this new program and you posted this new program, you're really missing the mark on just really connecting with people on a level of just relatability. And you don't have to be a comedian, everyone doesn't have to come in there. I'm like, man, I'm not Kevin Hart, I can't come in there and be funny. Just regular stuff that gives you a chuckle when you put it out there. It doesn't always have to be funny. It could be your kid dominated on flag football. It could be you dominated on your Fortnite, yes. Oh God. But
come on, you haters.
My brother.
But again, just understand the psyche of what people are doing,
right?
Of why they're there. Grab their attention, and then, the last leg of the races will remind them, hey, by the way, I am a loan officer.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I've heard that over and over and over, right? I think it's finally pounded in my brain because, I'll be the first to admit, when I used to just be the guy, I would just throw up, like you said, the rates, the fees, the this, the that, the speed, the that, the this, and there was no personal flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I hardly ever post anything about, hey, come to work here. I'll share stuff, especially when you see stuff like what was the one that came out today that Jake posted where we came out in Housing Wire, where they were talking about the Zillow ads and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But, there's a lot more emphasis on, I'll still kid around about the industry because, if you guys haven't checked out mortgage broker memes, dude, that's a good group to follow. They put out some funny stuff.
Well, people need to know you're a real person, too. There needs to be, like Michael said, you've got to be able to relate. And, you look at someone like Ernie Martinez, who's the branch manager in El Paso. He came to Movement. What his deciding factor was my son receiving that bear from you when he was sick, when he was a baby.
Oh, wait. I thought I was the only one that got a bear.
No, you got put together. No, but the thing is that came from the team, and Ernie was like, whoa, wait a minute. It's not just about money or work or whatever, and you've got to show people another side. But Yeah, I used to do a whole lot better job, but now with what's cool is now with BombBomb, us being able to use BombBomb and stuff like that, it'll make it a little easier to have fun.
Yeah, man, but video is that one place that I think scares people the most.
Well, because you can't exactly pause and start over.
Right.
So people get in their head, oh gosh, this needs to be flawless. Absolutely not.
Right.
What makes it good is when you mess up. That's what people are going to listen to.
Well, and like today I recorded a video for Allison that she's going to push out, right, to you guys, to all of us. And she was doing that like for a while, like she was trying to be very prim and polished and everything. And I would let her do the whole speech, and then I'd be like, okay, you got to do it again. Mm-hmm. What? I was like, yeah, you're just way too uptight. Like, loosen up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at one point, I even did my little cameo in it. So it was like, but like by the time she shot it, like she had done it so many times, it just kind of like you could just see her decompress with each time. But it's just, dude, it's scary.
It is. You're putting yourself out there, to be judged, to be, pretty much everything. But what's funny is I think for most people, you do it maybe, twice, 3 times, and it's like, oh, this is it, and you just do it.
Yeah.
It becomes.
Well, unless you look like Nasserfar over here, Mr. Young, handsome, market leader, who just gets on there and like stands in front of an American flag and like,
just kills it.
Dude, just murdered it like one take.
Well, I won't lie. I mean, I'm pretty good.
Oh, the humbleness.
That's it, man.
Well, here's the thing. No, if you guys only knew how nervous I am doing those things, but it's taken.
We do know because we're just as nervous.
Well, but and part of helping.
We just don't look as good, but it's okay.
I'm dead sexy. Look at my sexy body. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
I forgot what.
See, I'm so handsome. I'm distracting.
So, in encouraging our team, right? It's just it's like riding a bike. If I were to put my son on his bike and push him downhill, like day one,
yeah,
he would have been scared he'd crash and burn, right? And that's I think what happens. And that's the fear, right? But if we put some training wheels on that, and in a small group, hey, just post a couple videos, right? That's kind of another thing I like to talk about is, there's the groups and Facebook, they're making a huge push, there's groups, creating small little communities. But, case in point, we started a small little private group with just our direct coworkers and peers in a sales group, right?
Right.
And I think that is, fertile ground for exploring, trying, testing without fear of rejection, because I don't care what y'all say about me. Y'all say it about me anyway, whether I'm doing a video or not. So I think that is very encouraging in that aspect to try it out in an environment where if there is some feedback, constructive criticism, it can be very well received. Whereas the fear is, man, people are criticize me behind my back and they're not going to, use me, or I'm going to be, alienated. Well, you do this enough times in that small group and you go, you know what? I didn't look any different than the next guy or gal that did it. And in fact, I think I did pretty good. And I didn't fall off the bike. Hey, kick those training wheels off and let me put one into my regular feed, right?
Right.
Or then it becomes easy. Why? Because you didn't die.
Yeah.
Right.
You did it in a small group and it was fine. And I think that's just really what we all need, is just a little bit of encouragement when it comes to doing this Facebook. And let's face it, I mean, there's tons of people that are doing it now. I mean, the space is, it's riddled with it.
Yeah, and there's more every day.
Mm-hmm.
There is, but there's some value. You got to do it, and then now we got to start thinking about what does the next thing look like, right? What is the next thing? But if
holograms.
Yeah, right. Showing. But again, I mean, we had some. You had some great ideas just yesterday about talking about how do we use Facebook Live within the podcast, and how can we share a great experience at a closing and bring it as a proof of concept to a potential future buyer, right?
Right.
All in the vein of doing videos, and we'll have to stay consistently ahead of the curve. And if we're just playing catch up, I mean, you're never going to get ahead. I mean, that's what that Housing Wire article is talking about. If you're not doing things that are technologically advanced and centered and focused and putting investments into it, then I mean, it's going to be really tough for you to stand out, let alone be successful. And then they mentioned, another company in Movement Mortgage doing it. So I was like, dang, that's spot on. And thankfully, a third party mentioned our name in that, arena. So I think it's important to not only do the videos now, but have enough visionary leaders within the company, even if it's not yourself doing it, to be like, hey, Jake, hey, marketing department, like the here and now is awesome, but what's like 6 months ahead of us look like? And I'm thankful for that because I'm not a marketing guy. I'm a knucklehead loan officer. I need those guys looking out for me.
Mm-hmm. Bro, they do such a good job too, man.
Yeah, they do. But I mean, even like you think about, us when you're like, I wonder if we could get a green screen, and I wonder how difficult it is to use iMovie and, all this stuff. And then then it all comes together in like 30 days and it's like, this is not hard. Why didn't we do this like months and months ago?
Right.
And now it's turned into, it just starts to obviously steamroll from there, which makes it exciting. But yeah, I mean, this stuff's not difficult, and he's exactly right. What happens now? What's next?
See,
it's always about what's next.
For me, and this is what I kind of, and I know I sound like a broken record because I know how much I battled with it, right? Like I've told you guys the story, man. It took me 6 months to launch the first episode of this, and there ain't even no video in this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but then when I did that, the one, like, for me, the big kind of fear-conquering aha moment, and it was still only partial at the time, was when I did that video where I butchered the Spanish language.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
With the dude in Laredo? I'm sorry, Jesse. Laredo?
Laredo.
But yeah, and then, like, put it out there, and then, like, I remember it was one of those moments where you're, like, hitting the post button, but you're squinting your eyes like, oh God, this is gonna, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't hurt.
Not at all.
I didn't get trolled.
Nope.
And the funny part was people actually thought I could not speak Spanish.
Oh yeah.
I did a great job.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's right.
And after that, the fear starts to dissipate.
Oh yeah.
And now, now I don't care. Like, it's good. Let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we did the Market Leader Minute.
Yeah, because I think Hootsuite, they do a ton of trainings and stuff, and you can follow them and you can watch different. They'll get speakers from different industries around the country that are having social media and whatever. They have these little panels and you can listen in. And I think it was January of last year, so January 2017. They were saying that for 2017, video was going to account for, I think, like 75% of social media. And that pretty much happened. I mean, because now here comes all the little ads and all these other things. And so
boosting the posts.
And that's carried into this year. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of where, all the next turns come.
Well, and like going back to what Michael was saying, right, about the groups, right? Like that's, for me, and I'm sure you'll agree, like, for our folks, the first step to breaking down that fear is, like you said, give them a controlled, safe space, right? Not necessarily a judgment-free zone because they're going to get critiqued, but they're getting critiqued by their peers. Right. It's reminiscence of when you used to role play your sales pitch in a sales meeting. Only now it's on video and it's done digitally.
It's the same thing. And some people never had that role play in person in a team, and that's kind of the new crop of people that are coming up. I mean, this takes me to another point. This is the place where they exist and live, and so why would we go and recreate a whole nother forum and ability to do it? Just go where people are already at, right? Now, whether it's a small group like this with our team, and Facebook will redefine and it'll be something else, but right now people are we created that group in less than a week, and we've got tons of videos and commenting within our own little group. Why? Well, because people are already there.
Right.
That's right. It's you're using something that everybody's on all day anyway.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Well, and the thing too, like we talked about, I think you brought it up, Mike, was we're starting to call people out, right? Like on video, like whenever Mike and I are shooting a video, it's like we're going to start calling people out. And actually, I think Ken is the one we called out first, right? So Ken's got to do a video.
Yeah, he's like, I'll do it. Just y'all go easy and just let me know. I'm like, dude, you already look, just like you're talking to me right now is the exact same thing you're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I could do that. I'm like, you think?
Let's go.
Yeah, I think you can.
So,
I know you can.
That's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun. So, what do you think the next big thing is?
The next big thing? Shoot, I don't know. My mind is tapped out at just learning and understanding
What we got.
I mean,
really, all that's really there right now is, virtual reality kind of went out and augmented reality came in. So maybe now, like, you'll be able to hold up your phone, and when you're not there and I'm missing you guys, I can, like, make you appear somehow through my phone.
Oh, dear
and,
God.
Yeah, in the office in El Paso.
I can actually see that happening. Like an augmented reality phone call.
Yeah.
Like the new FaceTime.
I mean,
Michael's eyes just got like super
I'll
big.
tell you what the next thing that's coming in, and it has nothing to do with you or I or Facebook or not, and it's already here, is AI.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, integrating that into our system so that's a fully functional, invisible employee.
Yeah.
What's amazing about that is, so my wife, runs a business, and a big part of it is Shopify. And I brought it up in one of our meetings in Market Leader. But so Shopify, I don't even know how in depth it is. I haven't even read about it. I haven't even looked it up. But they now have a virtual assistant that's AI. Okay, so it's mind-blowing, incredible. And for it to be like at the beginning stages and see it for what it is right now. So she'll get a text message and it'll say, I don't know where, multiple throughout the day. Hey, such and such post throughout your social media has performed, kind of like the Facebook ones, but has performed 72% better than your previous post for the previous 3 months. What I can do is remind your client. So it doesn't just say, would you like me to repost it? It says, would you like me to send an email reminding your clients over the last 3 months that blah, 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 and I can run it right now. And then she responds back, sure, yes. And then boom, done. Here's your receipt, blah, blah. I mean, it's incredible. And so then it'll come back and say, your past customers haven't heard from you in a while. Would you like me to send them an email? And then you say yes, and then it'll say, would you like me to send them an email regarding this, this, and this, or this, this, and this? And so she's texting back and forth with their system, and it just does all this now. So imagine what that is going to turn into. So you're exactly right. I mean, even in the, when Henry Santos was talking about that here at Movement, it's mind-blowing because we can't wrap our head around it. And so, the fact that, a computer can remove 60% of what we do manually on a daily basis, boy, I mean, you can't even comprehend that.
Anyone listening to this, do a search on Google and do Google AI presentation. I forget who the gentleman was that was doing it. I mean, it was crazy. He basically, hey, Google, set me a dinner reservation at XYZ restaurant, and I prefer it to be, after 4:30. And it's like, okay, and then called, and it says, the person answered, XYZ restaurant. Hey, this is Michael Nasserfar, and I'd like to make a reservation for this Wednesday and the affliction in the voice was doing like that for, anytime after 4:30. We don't have anything until 9. It's like, 9. Yeah, it's going to be a little too late. This is the AI.
Yeah, talking.
AI is doing
talking.
That's a little too late. I was hoping for something after 4:30, before 7. Let me check. Yeah, it looks like, we can squeeze you in at 5:30. Will that work? 5:30. That'll work great.
It's pretty
AI
awesome.
is doing this.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
No, on the other
No,
hand,
but Google is doing this.
yeah, it was like Google Assist or something like that. I don't know if this is out to the masses, but this guy was
Yeah,
presenting
right.
to a
I'm
large,
about to go buy an Android phone.
presenting to a large audience, of all techies, and then they did like another one. But seriously, look it up. Google it. Google.
Google it.
Google
Well,
it.
have you seen, it was a very primitive version, but an app came out, I'm just going to say 6 months. I mean, I don't know how long it's been. It's been fairly recent. And all it does, it's an AI system that negotiates your AT&T bill. That's it. So you hook up this AI app to your AT&T account, and it will call and negotiate your bill monthly to keep your costs down. It's hilarious.
Really?
Why AT&T specifically? No idea. I don't know. I don't know, but it's hilarious.
There's a Sprint employee that put that out there to get back at them.
Dude, I wish they would do that for light bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
Oh,
in
no.
July.
They're going to make that for rate shoppers, for loan officers.
There we go.
Sick this on your LO.
That's it. You're going to get that call.
Yeah.
Hi, I was really hoping to get something at 4.5.
Are you AI? No, this is really...
Yeah, like,
Oh, I'm sorry. You sounded like AI.
right? Actually,
Yeah.
right? Here it comes, though, man. The Cyberdyne system, baby.
Yeah.
Before you know it, we're all going to be battling the Terminator.
It's okay. I'll just make my own AI that combats their AI back and forth.
Okay, yeah, we've lived in Austin way too long. And we, like, dude, yes. And can you believe what's going on with tech here locally, though?
Oh, it's insane.
It's a trip, dude.
It's insane.
We're what do they call it? The Southern Silicon Valley now, or something like that. Like
Yeah.
you know, I don't think we're the rednecks.
We're the Silicon Hills, I thought, right?
Are we the Silicon Hills?
Yeah.
There's the Silicon Valley out there, and we're Silicon Hills.
Hills.
There you go. Wow.
It's pretty incredible. Yeah, it is. And it's happened so quickly.
I'm curious to see how we roll blockchain into this.
It's coming.
You know what I mean? Because yeah, like from what little bit I've read up on it, that looks like some really secure stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like legit. You can't call anything hacker proof, I don't think, but that's going to be like.
Well, when you move the data to less, areas and keep it in its native, original place,
Yeah.
then you're less vulnerable, right? Because only people who need to access it will have the key code. I'm paraphrasing what a very, very smart Henry Santos said to what Michael Nasserfar heard. I
Right.
was like, okay, that makes total sense. Like, you're just going to keep it at this removed location outside of my grasp, so someone gets into my computer, it gets wherever else, it doesn't matter because they won't have the accessibility to go to the original source on where it's at. Okay,
That's cool.
that makes sense. Cool. Again, forward-thinking, really smart people. Who am I? Knucklehead loan officer.
Right.
I need a very, very smart, high-tech guy to lead me down the path because I will not figure it out.
There you go. So what's something you're excited about as far as your involvement in social? Because I've heard you talk about things. I know you've always got ideas popping around. Like, what's something you're working on or with right now that's kind of got you juiced up?
Well, I think what's, really I've kind of, I'll keep up with new stuff coming out and things like that. But I think I've been kind of watching what movement's releasing, a lot of, just because, I've talked about it before, I run a lot of my market's social media, for them just because I've got the platform that's built in. I can just do it. But, now with us being able to use Yip and all these different things, I mean, these tools are pretty awesome because now what that'll do is allow me to go, all right, what's the next project or what can I work on next?
Have you done a bomb video yet?
You know what? No.
Dude,
Everybody
it's so
has.
stupid easy.
They're cool. They're cool.
It's like the so stupid easy. It's awesome.
One thing we are working on right now and that I'm kind of excited to really start pushing out is, there's, in my market, there's such a lack of content in Spanish. You've got a population of 80% Hispanics and a lot of people that, maybe don't understand English very well. There's, where do you go find content? How do you buy a house? What's credit? What's assets? What's all these pieces? And so, we had talked about it and we had created it and doing a movement in Espanol, a YouTube video, a YouTube channel for just content in Spanish. So I'm kind of excited to get that going and, get those videos out and things like that.
I'm going to totally steal that one.
We just need to have Casey talking and you could voice overlay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't speak Spanish.
No, it'd have to be someone with a way deeper, better voice that talks really fast, like in the soccer games.
Goal!
Yeah, like the radio personalities. But no, that, I think it's stuff like that we're, let's rewind back. We were talking about content or putting stuff on there. I've told you before in previous podcasts, I put my son wrecking my living room. I'll have 7,000 likes and 400 comments, but I post something on neighborhood lifts available and they're giving you $7,500 just for free to go close on your house. I get 5 likes.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Take that post though and put it somewhere where there's a smaller group of people that you're not connected to, any of these buy, sell, for trade groups, and put it in there, and ridiculous engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it works. I mean, and it's got the same return on investment as any other, lead gen systems, but with one difference, the price tag.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Facebook is pushing towards these groups. They want these little communities, and you get in these groups, and even though it's yard sale for Buda yard sale, right?
Right.
And you get in there and you post something, first time home buyer program. If you're paying $1,500 or more in rent, you could purchase a home. PM me for details.
I know Jesse knows about those groups out in Lakeway.
Mm-hmm. Sure do. We
Never.
Can't,
We
can't
won't,
talk
we
about
won't,
that
We
live.
won't go over here.
Yeah, we can't talk about that on the radio. Okay.
Yeah. Sweet.
No, yeah, that's good stuff.
So in Espanol, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
That's actually really cool.
Well, I think I'm curious to see, I'm really curious to see what the response is. Is there really truly a need? I don't see how there couldn't be, And if anything, it gives us an opportunity to, again, we talked about it, get the LOs to step out of their shell a little bit, sit down with one of your agents, maybe talk about a specific topic, what you're going to maybe address, what's going on in the marketplace, things like that, what's coming in El Paso, which will obviously feed into the podcast. But, I think I'm really looking forward to getting that movement channel going. In Espanol, I think that's going to be really good.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Mr. Nass? Groups?
I think, just doing something. I mean,
right.
As much as attention that I spend in learning on some of the things on Facebook, some really smart people and Facebook marketers in general, I'm really not, participating. But now, with your encouragement and some of the platforms that we have here, I mean, just yip helps, but that's not me doing anything. It's just automatically pushing it out there.
Yeah.
But really just engaging and starting to put my toe in the water. I mean, doing these, small groups, I'm excited about that just for the sake of being able to help some others and connecting and, better crafting what I do. But then also on a larger level, doing some more groups outside of ours, our movement group with our direct loan officers, starting some other groups with, first-time home buyers and putting that in conjunction with some of the stuff Jesse is doing on some lead ads. Put these lead ads in place. If they respond and go directly to applying and they work, that's awesome. But there's a lot of people that may, look at it and they don't do it, or they may. So doing a post engagement, campaign with them and saying, hey, I saw that you liked or participated or did something. Go to my first-time homebuyer group, and then I'm going to be able to put content, information, contests, little things. Just I ask you and implore you to invite people, so you create these groups, and then you can grow that group. Once it gets some momentum, it'll be self-growing. And if you can do that, I think there's a lot of power in that. I mean, there's a lot of power because that's, again, back to what we said, rewind this at the beginning. Where are people at? They're already on Facebook,
Yeah.
They're already on these social platforms. And that'd be phase one of what I'm most excited about. Phase two will be learning and incorporating other platforms, because there's going to be something else after Facebook. If history repeats itself like we've seen, there'll be something else.
Well, not even after. I mean, there will be. I agree with you. But, dude, look at the ones that are running semi-parallel.
Well, Instagram.
Bingo. That's the one. We haven't even talked about that.
For real estate, Instagram, that's the killer.
Why?
That is it. The engagement's much higher. It's so much easier to showcase photos and things like that. I mean, look at it this way. Instagram is all about photos. Facebook, and I say this, and I always hurt somebody's feelings in the room when I'm giving a class, but agents still post those horrible 1987 listing slideshows for their listings. Really? I mean, guys, there's little apps called Ripple. There's things like this that cost $4 a month that turn that into like a full-on movie with graphics and stuff. I mean, so, anyway, you go to Facebook and you see that. I'm sorry, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to pass it. There's something way more interesting coming not far behind. And at least with Instagram, since it's photo-driven, at least you're going to look at it probably a little longer than you would, again, a photo on Facebook. So, for listings and things like that, I have noticed that, I use a lot of the social cards put out by the movement marketing team, which in my opinion are incredible. And I get much more engagement on the boring work stuff on Instagram, way more than I do on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, way more. But I do like Instagram. I haven't gotten into the Instagram stories and
Dude, they
all
got
that
Instagram TV now.
I know.
And I've already seen AC, like AC did a tutorial on it when it was launching, right? And I'm like, dude, I haven't even gotten to where I do stories, and now I got to do TV. This is crazy. Like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think if anything, if history does repeat itself and it does turn into something bigger than Facebook, I have a feeling we might be a long way from that.
Yeah.
There's zero indication of anything even
coming close.
Yeah, or in the works or talked about or anything else, which is pretty interesting. But we'll see. I guess you never know. Who knows? Good stuff.
Wow. All right. Anything else, guys? Any more nuggets? What do you got? Nothing.
Nada.
It's too bad we couldn't advertise Brett's blooper video and post it like
dude.
right now. Just drive traffic to it.
Right? If only. Just boost it. Just boost him not
Is
being
Brett the
vulgar.
guy with the sailor mouth?
Yeah.
Potty mouth Brett.
It's funny because he didn't cuss.
I know.
Once.
That's what makes it hilarious.
Like he did. Poor guy,
I love it. It's
dude,
so
whatever.
funny.
I went back and I took multiple videos. I haven't finished it yet, but I took clips of our Market Leader Minute video.
Oh, I love it.
I took clips from Darren, and I have Brett stuff, and so I was building like this censored collage.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I'm like, you know what? No, I got to do some actual work right now.
But I will tell you, post that bad boy, watch what happens.
Yeah, I'm already seeing it.
Comments, it'll turn into the,
Yeah, I figure it's gonna hit
everybody
hard
will
tonight.
be talking smack, and
It'll probably be tonight.
It might even go viral.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's hold our breath. We're gonna make Brett a star
overnight.
There it is. All right, boys. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of the day to come and do this last minute episode. Not like this was like super master planned out, but I definitely wanted to get in front of you guys and talk about what you're doing and your thoughts on this social experiment.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
We had to walk a long ways to get to your office.
God, all 12 steps. All right, so now we're going to go do videos. So,
Nice.
Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Big B Mortgage Podcast. If you did, give us a like, give us a share, leave a comment. But whatever you do, please stay social, everybody. Till next time.